So take all your human design knowledge that you have right now and put it in a box next to you for a minute. Okay, so and let's talk about vocabulary words. If you think about a projector that you use to project an image up on the wall, right? That's a projector. That really is kind of the root of the definition of what projection in a chart means. When you have a projector, it's projecting an image up onto the wall. The projected elements in the chart, including the fifth line, including the second line, including the projector type, including all the projected channels in the chart, are really kind of like they're working like a projector. They're projecting an image up on the wall. Any element that's projected in a chart, including type, profiles, and channels, means that the gift of those elements is that you can see the potential of something and you're projecting that potential up against the wall, right? And you're showing people, look, if you just, I'll reference to Kristen, who's here in the background, right? With her, she has double 18s in her chart, which is a projected gates, right? The correction energy. And she's one of her gifts that she brings to our whole team and everything that we do is that she's like, if you just do this, it'll be better, right? If you just do this, it'll be better. She's always showing us the potential if we fix things and correct things. That's Kristen serving as sort of a correction projection, right? A correction projector. Projected elements are challenging, not because of what you bring as somebody who holds projected elements in your chart to the table. It's because, for the most part, when we go out and encounter the world, we are working with people who have been deeply conditioned around the idea perfect is better, right? So we live in a world where we've been deeply trained that perfect is better. And also mistakes are bad, right? And not having it perfect equals you're lazy, sloppy, bad, untalented, blah, 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 all the terrible things we say to ourselves, right? So here come these projected elements, and they have different functions. And one of the things that happens is when you have a projected element, or if you are a projector or a fifth line or a second line, or you have those projected elements in the chart, those gates from the root to the spleen, or those gates from the ajna to the throat, or those gates from the G to the throat, right? Those projected element, or spleen to the throat without the root center, right? Those are all designed to be recognized and or invited as part of being properly shared, because it's a way of protecting you, the person who's holding those projected elements, from getting hurt by people who don't want to hear the truth. Really the truth of that, right? Okay. Secondly, one of the shadow elements of that is that when you have those elements in your chart, you see the potential, and sometimes you fall in love with it. And then you're really, really disappointed and sometimes even bitter because you thought somebody was something else that they were, or they had this potential that was them, and you mistakenly thought they were fulfilling their potential and they weren't. Here are the projected elements of the chart. It's any channel that has the potential to be defined but not motorized. So it's going to be the 1156, the 4323, the 1762, the 63-4, the 6124, the 6447. So head, ajna, throat. It'll be the 731, 18, and 1333, ajna, G to the throat. If it's not connected to a motor, it'll be the 4816 or the 5710. Or if it doesn't make it to the throat, it'll be the 1858, the 2838, and the 3254. So any of those channels also have the potential of seeing the potential. And all of those channels require recognition to be used effectively. Think about it. Nobody really wants to hear what's on your mind unless they ask you for it first, right? Like if you're like, blah, blah, I have all these opinions about blah, 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 or oh my God, I have all these stories about my life. Let me tell you about the time when I went to Spain and to Portugal and to Morocco. And then when I went to Alaska, and you're like, what? I didn't even ask you for this. Why do I have to sit here and be polite? Right? That's because it's projected. And the act of recognition allows the wisdom and the knowledge and the insight and the projection, that's that image up on the wall of what else is possible, to be shared in a good environment, in a healthy environment. And when we're thought, sometimes you get people who say, well, I feel like a projector, even though I'm not. And half the time those people have the 3420, and that's just the 3420. The other half the time is because they've got a lot of projected elements and they're feeling rejected by people because they've been going blah, 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 blah all their life, not waiting for the recognition and attention. And they feel really rejected for their wisdom.